course, the most common place to lie is on a CV, and I should know, speaking as NBC's leading weatherman for the past 12 years. And people have a tendency to try and appear more intelligent by claiming to have read books they haven't read, or in the case of Jordan, to have written books they haven't read. So after much thought, consideration and a power planning meeting, it was decided we should start with round one, home truths. Our panellists take it in turns to read the card in front of them. This may contain a true fact or a load of nonsense that we've just made up on their behalf. The other side then sift through the evidence, deduce the real truth, and generally try and look like they know what they're doing. Maureen is the first to stick her head above the parapet, so Maureen, if you would.
OK.
Surprise us all.
Yes, I once worked as part of a circus double act, which was called Franco and Tutti.
Professionally?
Yep,
You got paid for it?
I did.
So what was the double act called again?
Franco and Tutti.
And you were...
Franco.
Can you describe the act?
Yeah, I was the ringmaster and she pretended to be all numbers of animals.
All numbers of
All
Yeah.
numbers?
Well, like what?
Well, she pretended to be an elephant, she pretended to be a prancing horse.
Right.
Lee, this line, we're not trying to book the act, we're just trying to...
How old were you?
I was 14, she was 12.
It was child labour.
It was, well, when I said professional, we did it on stage, somewhere up north in the pantomime.
Whereabouts up north?
In Hull.
You so said that as I'm the expert on the north.
There is a place called Hull. This sounds like it might be true.
Yeah. We won this thing to go on the panto.
You won a competition to go to Hull?
No.
What was the second prize?
No, I was
Death.
So you weren't paid for it?
Yes, we were.
You were paid
How
for
much
it?
Well, we were given food.
Were you given, like, buns when you were an elephant?
What was the name of the panto?
The panto was just your traditional Cinderella pantomime.
And how many
And
shows?
Roy Roland
Not that traditional, because in the middle of it, a ringmaster came on, and a girl dressed as an elephant and then a donkey. The old traditional pantomime of Cinderella.
In pantomime, Lee, they do mess around with the story a bit. They don't just...
Yeah, they do, but not in traditional pantomime, they don't.
Yes, they... In the story of Cinderella,
God, I used to
there's
run-
no bloke dressed as a woman. You know, in the fairy tale, pantomime itself is already screwing around with the story.
Are you
They're having
telling
a little bit of a circus bit. It's just a bit of fun. I saw a panto. They had a laser light show.
What do you think, Richard?
I think she's changed her story. She said she was being paid for it initially. It was professional.
But it was a
Yeah,
professional
but she might be
show.
telling the truth, but getting a bit confused.
Yeah.
It's true. It's Maureen Lipman.
So what do you think, team captain?
I'm saying it is a lie.
Maureen, gospel or garbage?
It is, in fact, a lie.
It is a lie. Jimmy, your turn to shock us all.
Oh, right, OK. There you go. I had an interview at MI5 to be a spy.
Where's MI5, Jimmy?
Where's MI5?
Yeah.
Well, it's on the South Bank now, but that building wasn't finished at the time. So it was a meeting in Millbank.
What was it, like a planning meeting to join MI5?
Like a planning? No, I wasn't going to build a new
The fact
headquarters.
the building wasn't finished.
Thinking of setting up a big organisation of spies.
Well, you know,
Lots of guns and handcuffs and itching powder. We don't know how we're going to use that, but it's all fun. And we're building a huge, crazy building on the South Bank, which is actually MI6, but never mind.
Can I say I'm worried now that you know a bit much about it, and you really do seem like a spy, I think, because you're posh and a tiny bit gay, even though you're not.
well, hang on, David. I'll stop you there.
For a spy.
Posh and a little bit gay. What are you talking about, man?
This is like Spartacus. No, I'm posh and a little bit gay.
You're the least posh and a little bit gay of anyone in the world ever, Lee.
Fuck off, you puff. Yes, right.
Jimmy, how do you get approached? How did you get approached for this
I
interview?
got approached by an English tutor at Cambridge, and this guy, McKendrick, approached me and said, would you be interested?
Kendrick?
McKendrick.
McKendrick?
Or M for short.
I thought you meant it was John McCririck approaching.
He'd be a really bad spy. I'd say kill him when you get the chance.
The thing is, Jimmy, if I'm right about you, you were a virgin until you were about 27, as far as I remember.
26.
26.
And that was the last series of this show. Shall we not bring it up again?
Here's That's the thing. This was your opportunity to pull.
Jimmy, how much are we going to be paid for it?
I don't think
Could get
there was
paid in sticky buns, Maureen. A sticky bun for every kill.
Yeah.
Would you have been sent abroad?
Well, don't you start. I'm having enough trouble with them. Why are you... You're not even in this.
show.
What are you talking about?
Jimmy, your attitude under interrogation is just a bit churlish, which, as a spy, it really shouldn't be, you know.
The other interrogator starts asking questions and you go, are you in this?
Was this during the Cold War?
Yeah, I'm 50.
You might be. Your hair's dyed. So...
Fashion tips from the tramp.
Now, girls. Was there a practical side to the interview? Did you have to...
Yeah, I had to fuck a girl in a speedboat.
David Mitchell, what are you thinking as team captain?
I think it's not true.
OK, I'm torn, but both of my teammates think it's not true.
You're tending towards...
We'll go with that's a lie.
OK, they're saying it's a lie. Jimmy, is that the truth?
It's a lie.
Can I just say, you've made that really hard for yourself. It says I once had an interview at MFI.
Yes, well deduced. It is a complete lie. Jimmy did not have an interview at MI5 to be a spy. But these days, to be a successful spy, you need dedication, nerves of steel, and the ability to spot a radioactive teapot in a sushi restaurant. And lastly, David Baddiel, your intriguing information.
I have snogged 2 of the Spice Girls.
I don't think you've snogged 2 girls.
Which 2, David? Which 2?
Scary Spice and Sporty Spice, Mel C and Mel B.
Well, that's a very... I put the Spice Girls in order, and no one starts with those 2.
Was it together at the same time?
Yes, it was.
You
It
snogged
was
them both at the same time.
Yeah.
clever.
I,
How can you
I don't like the word snog. What I say is I went to bed with 2 of the Spice Girls. As it was, obviously, I just snogged them. But I like to leave
What,
that
did
open.
little David let you down? I think it's definitely true. No further questions.
It was a bit strange, actually, because to be honest, I was only really interested in Melanie B, who I've been having... It was at the Four Seasons Hotel in Los Angeles, and I've been having a bit of a flirtation with her. Basically, I did end up with Melanie B in my room, and then Melanie C just kind of turned up. I don't know why at all. I presume if you want to be my lover, you've got to get with my friend. I don't know. Right? But she did just turn up. And then I was sort of snogging them, and then the phone rang, and it was security. And the security said, we've had a lot of complaints about noise in your room. We're sending someone up to chuck you out. So I chucked them out of my room.
What year was this?
1996.
And what were you doing in Los
96.
Angeles?
Were they not big in 96?
No, just it was early in 1996.
So what are you thinking about this one, team?
I think it sounds perfectly plausible. I think David Baddiel may well have got off with a Spice Girl.
Richard?
Or 2.
I think there's a lot of detail there, and I tend to say I believe that.
As opposed to I don't believe it. Lovely. Oh, who wasn't thinking it?
Team captain.
I think, I'm not going to lie, I think you're both wrong. David is a famous person. If he'd have snogged both Mel B and Mel C, it's not the first time he's talked about it. I would have read that somewhere. I'm going to say that he's lying and overrule you.
Okay.
Well, get Richard to say it. Get him to say I don't believe it. Go on.
Say it, Richard.
Go on, ask him. Go on. It'll be my best thing ever. Please. Please say it.
Angus, I would like to give my decision by handing it over to Richard Wilson. What would you say it? Well, I've got a catchphrase as well, which is, I think you're a lying, scruffy bastard.
OK. David, tell us all.
It's true.
You have snogged 2 of the Spice Girls.
It is true, yes. In case you didn't catch it, David has snogged 2 of the Spice Girls. Just 3 more to go, and he gets to keep the set. This, of course, gives David a girl group hit rate of 40%. Impressive, but still slightly behind Lembit Opik, who's currently on 50. Our next round is Ring of Truth, which has been described as both simple and subtle. The people describing it as simple being correct. I dish out a celebrity fact. Lee's team, guess if it's true. Nothing could be more entertaining. After this frighteningly genuine travel guide from NBC.
Scotland is the place where the pipes skirl, the men wear kilts, and everybody drinks Scotch whiskey and talks with a funny accent. One of their traditions is fighting. Normally friendly, they can, when riled, fight and kill with anything from swords to sidearms. And the only thing certain is, they'll never bite you to death. Scots eat almost all the time, and they prefer something sweet. Ice cream or candy or pastries, anything with a high sugar content. They munch constantly. The national characteristic of Scotland is a moving jaw.
Could I just say I take that as an insult on behalf of the Scottish nation. It's balderdash, and I want that man's name.
I think that's disgusting.
This is your chance. Why don't you say...
Nice one.
That's your chance. Say it now.
No!
Is there a question to go with that, or are we just agreeing? Because I agree with everything that was said.
Yes. No, there is a question. So, that was the NBC show Weekend from 1974. Shortly after recording that film, the narrator actually met a Scotsman, and now he has no teeth. OK, so here is the related fact for Lee's team. After a visit to Scotland, Paris Hilton demanded her PA only ever speak to her with a Scottish accent. Her PA resigned. Is that true, Lee's team?
I mean, firstly, I don't think Paris Hilton's got a PA, because I think she seems quite down to earth to me. She probably just organises some stuff herself, doesn't she?
Does it all herself, yeah. Yes, this was something that she said after visiting Edinburgh last year.
It's a beautiful accent, isn't it? It's amazing kind of pronunciation. But so she might have kind of... But she's a fucking idiot. Why would she? Why would she pick up
And also,
on that?
wouldn't it, because I'm guessing that the purpose of it is to... Because she probably thinks, oh, I've been to Scotland, it sounds very cultural and interesting, I want my PA to speak like that. But that's only fine if you're not... I mean, the kind of job she's got, her PA is going, right, you've just had Playhouse asking if you can get your tits suit. Is that a good accent?
No, it's terrible.
Was it?
So, Lee, what are you thinking on this one?
Jimmy?
I think an accent is a really sexy and important thing. I think accents are like lovely, and that's sort of kind of what draws you. I think that might be true.
But it's just so unlikely it might be true.
You think it's true? Yeah. Well, once again, I would like to overrule you. No, I wouldn't. I'm going to go with the majority this time. We'll say it's true.
Should have overruled. It's a lie. Yeah, it's completely untrue. Paris Hilton's PA did not resign after being ordered to speak with a Scottish accent. Being Paris Hilton's PA, it would certainly be a demanding job, what with all the organising and holding the camcorder steady. Which means at the end of that round, it's David's team who are cock-a-hoop, charging ahead 3-1. Our next round goes by the blatantly curtailed title of This Is My. Lee's team will each claim to have a connection with tonight's mystery guest. David's team has then analysed the three claims and sought the genuine wheat from the fraudulent chaff. So let's meet this week's special guest person, Della. So, Richard, what is Della to you?
This is Della, and Della and I danced on my dancer-size fitness video.
OK, Lee, perhaps you'd like to explain how you know Della?
This is Della, the estate agent who accidentally locked me in a house after a viewing.
Right. And finally, Jimmy, your relationship with...
This is Della, and she is my chiropodist.
Right. So there you have it. A dancer-sized partner to Richard, a forgetful estate agent, if we believe Lee, or a chiropodist to the stars, or at least Jimmy. David's team.
Can I ask Richard something? Richard, the exercise video that you made, did it sell well?
No.
That's obviously a lie, because you've never made an exercise video. And what was it called, this exercise video?
I don't believe it.
A dance...
I don't believe you made
Richard
one.
Wilson's Learn Dancing video.